Hey, we're live. At least it says we're live. Cool. All right. Well, you guys back there aren't quite there yet. Ooh, my mic's a little hot tonight. All right. There we go. Hopefully everything's working all right. Good evening, everyone. Doing a quick little hour-long pop-up live stream because why not? And I have a couple guests to bring on. Let's see here. I'll do it the right way, Frank. Group layout. There we go. It's Prep Ham Paul over there. Hi, Paul. What are you up to?
What's going on, guys? I am up to joining your live stream tonight because you invited me, so I thought it sounded fun.
Fantastic. Anything new on your channel coming up real quick?
Well, if the rain would stop, I could do the Hex 10 from Alpha review, but other than that, probably not until Sunday night, RagChew, 9 o'clock Central.
Oh, sounds like fun. Well, thank you for joining us. And then we have the one, the only, the WU1Q. How you doing, Mitch?
Frank, Paul, good to see you. Hopefully my audio is not too hot.
And, oh, you're good. Tell that airplane to shut up, though.
Window up, no, but it's only momentary, So
yeah.
Really good to see you guys. Paul, K5BOP, pleasure to meet you, my friend, and Frankie. I was a willing participant like yourself, Paul. What do you think?
Oh, thank you guys for joining. So tonight we're just going to talk about radio stuff. Anything you want to talk about, anything the chat wants to talk about, radio stuff, just feel free to ask questions type thing. We're just going to kill an hour talking radio because that's what usually happens this time of night on Friday. I didn't come with a topic, so Paul, do you got anything you want to talk about radio-wise?
Oh, man, a topic. How about radio? Is that a good topic?
Sure, let's go with that. What do you have for radio?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I did last Sunday night. My 30-minute RagChew live stream was on putting all my stuff together over the last 11 years. Everything I've kind of, we have this mindset of whether you're POTA or MCOMs or whatever, and we gather and collect and get all these antennas and devices and things. And I've never, I've been watching Tech Prepper, one of my favorite, him and Survival Technor, Julian, because they do the things that I'm interested in, kind of those outdoor survival preparedness type YouTube streams. I love that stuff. And I was watching one of his videos last week, and I just realized all my gear is just chaos. There's no order to it. I've got a Go box, but everything's really chaos. So I'm going to start kind of a little series of just putting all my stuff together. And that first video was last Sunday night. So for those of us like me who may not have their stuff together, like people like Julian or Tech Prepper, Gaston, it's time to do it. It's time to get it ready, or otherwise it's just kind of a waste of time having everything.
Oh, absolutely. And backstage, let me know when you're ready and I'll bring you in. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready backstage. All right, you're ready? Okay, cool. We'll bring you in. We have
Simon.
One more guest. It's Simon. Woohoo!
Hey guys. Sorry, I'm driving, so I have to have it below the level of the dash so the cops don't see me.
Oh yeah, don't need to be pulled over. That's for sure. Welcome,
you driving
Simon.
back from the ocean?
Thanks, guys.
Right on.
Driving back from the ocean, Simon, or where are you off to? How you doing? What's up?
Mate, I'm well. Anybody that's a parent knows what it's like to be a dad taxi. So that's me. I'm racing off to get the kids and all that sort of stuff. And it's all good. And just basking in the glory that I survived on the canoe and nobody got hurt and the Coast Guard weren't called in. So all is good.
Sounds like a successful event, my friend.
Mate, I'm blown away. I had no idea that. When our buddy Tim, Golf 5 Tango Mike, said 10 dB gain on the ocean. I mean, on 100 watts, that's a kilowatt of power. It's like holy smokes. It's. I guess living right on the ocean, I sort of take it for granted that if anywhere in the world is going to work when the bands are in the toilet, it's going to be by the ocean. Hey, amazing.
Oh, absolutely. So, Simon, real quick, because you're another ham tuber, anything new coming up on your channel you want to talk about real quick?
Actually, yeah, Frank, I'm doing a live stream next Friday with Josh. He's coming onto my channel, Ham Radio Crash Course, and with Wes as well, Mr. Mudd. And we're just going to be, hopefully, I don't know. I'm going to have a blank. Sorry about the steering wheel, guys. I'm going to have a blank page of an agenda, so just to see where it goes, and I'm very, very excited about it. So that should be a lot of fun. So that's next Friday week, the 24th of May at 4:30 p.m. Pacific.
Awesome. Well, we will promote that for sure. So tonight it was basically let's talk radio, anything and everything. And Paul brought up a great subject. Paul, for Simon, so you recap real quick what you were talking about, and why don't we roll with that?
Okay, Simon, first of all, great video today. That looks so exciting.
Thanks, Paul.
You said that those, was it the counterpoise or whatever, was making your feet hot.
Yes.
So I made the comment that means you could do that in the wintertime and not get cold. Just keep your feet on those wires.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I know. I know. Actually, it was quite warm. It's like, oh, hang on, something's stinging right now. I knew that there was some heat in the wire. That's for sure, Paul.
Well, he asked me to bring up something, and what I'm starting to work on myself is getting all my gear and things I have together and putting it actually together to actually be able to use it. You know, I've got 10 or 15 different antennas and mobile rigs and tuner. I got everything, but it's not together. It's all just kind of a mess. And so I'm trying to take like advice from like tech prepper videos or Julian Survival Tech Nord's videos, those guys that have those things together and actually go out and use them. And then I want to start using them. So I'll probably make a few videos on my gradual process of putting everything together how I like it.
Mate, that's an amazing idea. It's funny. I just was thinking the other day, I think we all could benefit from having like a manifest, if you will, an 8.5 by 11, because I've got, you know, like you, Paul, I've got the tape measure, I've got the beam, and then I've got jewelry wire and then metal tape and blah, blah, blah. And knowing, okay, so which terminal block do I need with this? Have I got coax? Have I got connectors? Have I got barrel connectors? You know what I mean? And having like an 8.5 by 11 manifest that's laminated almost, you know what I mean? Like just an absolute dumbing down A to Z, just so I don't forget anything. Putting it all together.
Like a good checklist, basically.
Absolutely,
what about you,
Frank?
Mitch?
You know, sitting here listening to, you know, Paul and Simon and yourself, you know, I think that we all have one thing in common, and I can tell you this, and by the way, Paul, you're right. There's so much good. Sorry about that, you guys. There's so much good advice and help, experiences that a lot of people have had, and I got to tell you, no matter how well I prep, no matter how many interconnect cables I get, extra radio that I bring, there's always going to be something that goes wrong, you know, and that's, I think, part of the essence of what we all know is to be field day. Field day is a time and everything in between that to prepare for what we all prepare for, the whatever you want to call it, the disaster, the things that we're brought into this community, ham operators, to help our communities with two-way communication. So I'm just going to say, you know, for you know what, and giggles, is that no matter how much you plan, I just encourage everybody to just keep moving forward, go, because at the end of the day, my plan might not match up with your equipment, and so it's a hodgepodge. The wonderful thing is when we get together with Field Day, it gets epic because we start learning from everybody else's mistakes and everything. It just makes us better. So in that, my friend Simon, I'm curious what you think. That I think is the very essence of how we teach each other.
Absolutely.
What do you?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more. And our buddy Charlie, Whiskey 7 Romeo Tango Alpha, he made a comment once, and I don't want to quote. I don't know if I can quote it verbatim per se, but it was something like 2 equals 1 and 1 equals none. And I think we've all been in that situation. Like, holy crap, my coax is faulty. Oh my gosh, where's the connector? Oh no! And one tiny little piece can just absolutely hold you to ransom, right? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's just like, no, damn it! I thought I had that packed, but it's actually in my other bag for another antenna. Oh, yep.
That's what happens when you hang out with Murphy. You know Murphy, right?
Oh, I sure do, buddy.
Oh, absolutely. So on the same subject here, I think Mitch, you've seen my setup. You've worked with my setup. I have quite a bit of a hodgepodge myself, and I think, Paul, you have a good idea. Reducing it and going off of what Tech Prepper's done, reducing it and simplifying it is going to be a way to go in the near future for me. Right now, I have it's not hard. I have one of those Apache travel cases for my FT710.
That's
And I
nice.
have that. I have the Ethernet cable to connect the microphone if I need to make it longer, further away from the radio. I have that. I have my CW key, which I don't ever use, but Mitch does. I have sound card interface, USB interface, nice and easy to make stuff simple. And then everything else, my radials, my guy wires, my antennas, including my Poseidon, which I'm absolutely loving, all go in this 5-gallon bucket that I just throw in the back of the car and bring with me wherever I go.
Hey, Frankie, can I say something?
Yeah, go for it, Mitch.
Hearing you convey that to all of us, I wanted to let you know it's an observation, and it's a good one. It's not. I'm not critical at all. But what's impressive, Frankie, is that from the very beginning of time that we've been playing ham radio, you have done just that. You have minimized your payload, so to speak, and
Right.
have been refining it. And so my hat's off to you. But the one thing I'll tell you, that every time, no matter how bad it looked or how good and quality it looked and whatever equipment you were utilizing, Frankie, I don't think I've ever had a bad time hanging out with you. Always a good time. Fortunately for us, the bands have always been cooperative. And the best part is, Frank, and everybody else that does this pod activations like Frank, it's pretty impressive. For a guy who's been doing this for a while and being introduced to POTA from Frankie, honestly, and to see the immense amount of traffic and camaraderie between all the people that are together watching all these maps for the pop-ups, it's pretty epic. And honestly, Frank, you guys are absolutely onto something when you're saying it comes to the payload, because the more we do it, the better we get. And you're definitely shining example of how that occurred. Frankie, good on you, buddy.
Thank you, Mitch. Now we have to interrupt the regularly live schedule here because we have a new guest that just came in. If it works, come on, hold on, trying to work the magic.
It almost worked.
Oh, almost.
There you
worked.
go.
We actually have two, Mr. Mudd
There we
and
go.
Bobby.
Hey.
So,
Hey,
Mr. Mudd, we're going to go with you. Howdy. Anything new coming up on your channel?
Okay, first off, thank you for inviting me into the Brady Bunch here. It looks good. Sorry, I had to say that. Guys. Hey, guys. Oh, I'm over there now. Okay, moving me around. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, he's over there.
Yeah, over there. Now I'm over there. This is too much fun, Frank.
This is where the song starts, and we start looking at each other's.
I know, eh?
There we go.
Look, there's the maid in the middle. How's it going? Sorry. Okay, we could probably do this all day, Frank. We should just do this like screen like this. This is fun.
One day.
One day. Well, yeah, no, I thanks for bringing me in. I just finished some of my husband duties. I was away for a couple of days. And you're asking, okay, what's back to the point here after all this fun? What am I up to? You're asking on my channel. Well, you know what? I got a few things planned. I'm going to do the POTA again, POTA bicycle, HF radio, 100 watts blasting about 10 inches away from the scalp, and hopefully talk to Spain again. It's going to be a fun time. So I'll live stream that sucker again.
Oh, that sounds like lots of fun.
Oh, it's
And
a
then
blast.
And then we have Bobby, W6IWN, Soda and Ham Radio. He's the somewhat local guy down here in the Reno area. How you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing all right.
Okay,
Can you guys
good.
hear me all right? I've been
Yeah,
having
you're
little
good
camera
audio.
difficulties, but I think I finally got it figured out.
Yeah, you got it worked out. Anything new coming up on your channel?
Actually, yeah, I'm hoping to do a stream with you, Frank, a giveaway stream.
Oh yeah, that's right. You hit
1,000
you hit
subs.
that match.
I
Yeah,
wanted
you
to,
hit that magic 1K, didn't you?
yes, finally.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. But I wanted to thank my subscribers and do a giveaway. I'm gonna be giving away some signal stick antennas
Nice.
and this wonderful talk pod. I know how everyone
Nice.
Oh,
We can't see it. It's clear.
yeah,
Yeah,
right
is
through
that?
it. So I'm trying to figure out how to do all this. I got tomorrow off. I got a doctor's appointment at 10. Kind of hoses my work day. So I thought I'd take little Ricky Radar out here, go camping for the first time with him for the season, and try to hit a summit and camp in a Poda park. That's my plan tomorrow, and try to figure out this video stuff and go from there. But thanks for having me on your stream, Frank, and you're doing a great job, dude.
oh, thank you. So, Wes, Mr. Mudd, and Bobby, we were talking. I don't know how much of the stream you guys had caught already. We're talking about basically downsizing our packs, and Paul brought this up, so I'll let him describe it a little more if he wants. But downsizing your packs, sort of like what the Tech Prepper and Julian have done in making things simpler and easier.
So I thought about that. I was going to actually buy like an ultralight pack and all the camera gear and other stuff I do for my things. I don't know, but I need to make like a non-camera pack. I bring too much stuff. I'm guilty of that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think Ham Jazz
I'll be right
probably
back,
wins
Frank.
the prize.
Okay. So Simon will be back shortly.
Yeah, it's too bad. He'd win the prize for the heaviest pack award. I tell you that much.
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh man, yeah. So the soda stuff, you gotta really get that's very important to get, lightweight and non-bulky. I'm kind of more of the pack guy. I want something quick. I could just have it all in one place and not steal stuff from it. It's the most important thing, for some other rigs setups. So
Oh, absolutely.
you don't want to head out to a park or of course to a summit and you're missing your coax because you used it on your other radio, so
I've been there and done that from a connector to I brought the mic from a different radio
to
a summit. Thankfully, I still activated with my HT, but so that those problems have made me think. But you can only have so much redundancy. I know some soda operators that they have a little too much redundancy, where at one point you're gonna have a whole nother pack. But then there is the lightweight guys. I am guilty of being one of the heavier weight guys because I am a sidebander too, and I bring a lot of crazy weird stuff and extra camera.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. A little lightweight pack, and don't rob your pack. Keep your stuff separate. Same with your POTA if you can. I get it if you don't have all the stuff, but I'm right there with you.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, sorry, go ahead, Frank.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, just on the topic of redundancy and stuff like that. What do you guys for your antenna type stuff? Are you what's redundancy on antennas? Are you just kind of doing a multi-bander, something that's adjustable, or are you using tuners, or what is kind of your go-to soda?
I'll start that.
For a sideband guy, and a lot of guys are going to laugh at me and say this is way too heavy, but I prefer the Zygear G90. And that for my antenna, though, for redundancy, I have an infed half wave, which is super light. I can show you here in a second. Maybe it will fit in my hand. And then I bring hey, let me grab it. I got my soda.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab some too.
And while they're doing that, I take the Poseidon antenna from Talking Ham Radios out, along with an in-fed half wave as a backup anytime I need it.
So my go-to, just for the mast I have, the in-fed, I use a fishing pole for a mast right here.
Okay.
See it? So, I mean, it's not that rigid. So an in-fed half wave is great for it. I was trying off-center fed antenna, and it was a little heavy because of the coax, or if you were to do a dipole, but it's a 21-foot crappie telescopic fishing pole. But I take out the very top section because it's thinner than this. It's just too fragile, or I glue it in. So it's about 17 feet. So an in-fed works great. I actually, for my redundancy, is kind of heavy on this winder, but I bring my Soda Beams antenna. That was my first Soda antenna. It's not the greatest, but it's a backup. And it's kind of, you just plug it in. But banana jacks, it kind of limits you to be on the ground.
Hey, Bobby, hold on a second. Let me solo you, if that will do it. There you go. Bring that back up again.
So this, if anyone does ever order the Soda Beams, it's just a piece of wire and a counterpoise.
There you go.
And this little thing, this is the band springer. This is my first Soda antenna, and you can make one of these yourself. Super easy. But it limits you to the ground. I don't like it. And you're going to need a tuner. So that's not going to work with certain radios. Where is my... Okay, so this is made by W7 DLZ Whiskey 7 Delta Lima Zulu Derek. He actually just hit his second goat. So, and he does... He's only been active on Soda for a couple of years. And he's 74. This guy he's crazy, but sorry, I got a little 720p crappy camera I'm rolling on right now. But yeah, it's super light. It fits in my hand here. It doesn't taco. My antenna, I've had a lot of great success. That's just what I kind of like to use and have redundancy for backup. Derek will bring an extra mask sometimes and all that stuff, but I'll figure a way if I can get the wire.
Yeah, well, the best redundancy that I have, I use a telescopic whip all the time, so I adjust my band so I don't have to use a tuner. And in the case this thing breaks, I got this as backup. Keep it up.
The foil tape.
So if you can't get that reach and she's just not happy with where you're at, you could put a little bit on the tip and then she works fine. So you know that, Simon, right?
Simon knows that well.
I've seen a lot of Simon's stuff, and actually he's the one who turned me on to your channel. And I need to learn some stuff from you. You have a lot of great stuff going on. Yes, sir, Mr. Meta.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you'll probably learn a little bit of something, and a lot of nothing. But I'll definitely, I got a lot of stuff up here that needs to get out to the world, and it's some of it works, right, Simon?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, can I just interject? I was going to say your ears were burning, Wes. Talking about minimalism, I just wanted to bring this up, just throw this out there, because I've actually really hurt my arm from just lifting so much gear and setting up antennas for live streams. And Wes just said to me, "Hey, dude, go and get yourself an old golf bag." So I right now use a saxophone. I've got a tenor sax case, which is pretty good for carrying, 4 or 5 foot pieces of PVC and the tent poles and this and that. But an old golf bag, mate, that is brilliant, like a hockey bag. Being able to put all of your PVC pieces in to a golf bag, chuck it over your shoulder, and off you go to the races. And that was Wes's idea. Thanks, Wes.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I thought with the ham sticks, you put your ham sticks in there. If you want to put your lengths of PVC. Actually, I think you probably could butcher the tubes out of a golf bag and make them screwable tubes to make a mast out of them, too.
Hey, I like the way you think.
Yeah, but I was really thinking of one of those little metal carts and actually loading up the cart as the antenna. So that's the way I kind of think. I wasn't thinking of hauling stuff with it. Use the bag as the antenna.
So real quick, we got got one here that I think at least Bobby can answer for soda, and I probably Paul. No, Paul, I don't know how many sodas you have in Texas.
I haven't done any sodas, not in Dallas.
Jeff asks if he has an opportunity to get an IC 706 Mark II. Yeah, it's older, but it's light and fits the bill for backpacking and soda. Why should he not get this radio? So he wants some pros and cons because he wants to pull the trigger on it.
First off, I'm not going to lie. I am not familiar with that model of radio, so I can't give you an honest answer.
And
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, go for it, Mitch.
you know, I'm just going to tell you that I own two of them, the MK2 Mark Gs and an ICOM 7000 that's predecessor. And what I'm going to tell you is that you either have a 706 MK2 before you give them the money, it's not uncommon to ask to see it work. Okay, so what I would do I would put it through all the motions and the steps, and believe me, by all means, this is not a knock to anybody. It's just to keep everybody happy, because that if you don't do that can leave bad taste in your mouth. And when you have the opportunity, go ahead and test it. It's going to make you feel better in the seller as well. So MK2, the 706 MK2 is absolutely a great radio, but make sure it works.
It is.
Anyone else have some input on it?
Well, I'm hoping that at Dayton this year, ICOM come out with the 706 Mark 3, whatever, or Mark 7 with 100 watts, like to supersede the 7000 all-bander. That would be unbelievable, but we'll see what happens.
Is that like the 991 version, the ICOM version, or?
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, maybe I've seen that. For a soda, there is drive ups. I thought you have to walk 100 meters if you're not disabled, but I've heard other people disagree with me. But I swear I read that once upon a time. Don't quote me. Check out the soda rules. But yeah, there is summits where there's something like that. I brought amps and stuff to when I go to like a fire lookout or somewhere where it's not like a big hike. You pretty much drive up there. So that'd be cool. It'd be a great POTA radio, but you want to keep it lighter for soda. People say bringing the Zygo G90 is, I'm crazy for doing that, but it works for me.
Yeah. Well, do you guys think? Sorry.
1 second, Mr. Mudd.
Yeah.
Bobby, you're talking about drive-up summits there. I'll give you one good drive-up summit that I know of in California, and you and me and Mitch all know someone who activates it without knowing it.
Diablo.
No, better. The Pickle.
The Pickle. Okay.
Derek, DJV, activates the Pickle, and that's a drive-up.
But in the rules, you can't just drive up there like POTA with your car. You still have to have your setup separate.
A reasonable distance from the car. Yeah, but you can literally drive up, walk 10 feet away, and have it set up and good to go.
But yeah, so there is applications for certain radios if you want to go big, but if you wanted like an all around something, and it depends on what mode you do. But another popular. This is my first soda radio, but I actually like my G90 better, the 818.
That is a nice radio. Yeah.
But all band, all mode. But I really like the tuner and the G90 and the 20 watts. And I would show you my batteries. They're all out in the living room charging for my trip.
That's okay.
A little battery, but it's not a CW radio. It's not a CW radio.
So, Mr. Mudd, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, we're talking about big radios. I got something this summer. I'm going to take a big radio. I don't know if you can see it. That's going to be the big radio that I bring.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to turn that piece on right now, to be honest. It actually didn't come with a mic, so I got to track down a mic. Or it might be this one.
That's
let's just, I'm going to solo you, Mr. Mudd. There you go.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, look at that. I got that thing. And I
just put it all on a frame pack and do a soda with it.
We don't have sodas here in Saskatchewan. I think actually we have 2, so I'm probably gonna be the first to do them. And yeah, no, I'm gonna take this one to the park with a big old extension cord, and yeah, the thing drifts like crazy. You can't keep it on frequency, so it's gonna be a challenge. I don't know if any of you guys activated with an old 1960s radio.
You're
No,
lucky.
that's rad, and you should get like a special award, like a vintage award. No,
Right.
And Frank's
Like
the guy, he knows all the POTA guys, Frank. You should bring that up.
He's a
Hey, Simon over there is the POTA guy. Him and Mr. Mudd are the POTA guys. I'm just I'm the new generation.
Yeah, I got a few POTAs under my belt. Yeah, I know you say that a special award. I think I'm special using that radio, to be honest, because that thing's going to be really, really a challenge. I don't know, but we're gonna try it, and you know, I'm probably gonna live stream it just to get the help from the crew to keep me on frequency, because I don't think I could pull that off by myself.
Oh, absolutely. That'll be fun.
And I challenge you to take it to a soda this summer.
Hey,
drive up maybe.
Bobby could do it.
Hey, where's
Yeah.
Take it out on the canoe and use it for an anchor. How about that?
Oh yeah, exactly. Well,
How about that, mate, with it, and then I'll just throw it out and that can be the anchor.
It would keep Simon's kayak from drifting for sure.
You know, Simon, if you and I were in a canoe, there wouldn't be room for any beer if we had that radio.
Rats.
can't have that.
Speaking of beer, I'll be right back.
A beer, yeah. Oh man,
that's
right.
great. Well, Frank, if I can just
go for it
about the about what the guys when you're talking about the 706 and the 7000. The 7000 is definitely, I would say, probably the greatest radio that I've ever owned. It really was ahead of its time, but beware when you buy one. Our buddy Kilo Golf 6 uniform Oscar, Uncle Oscar Jim, Kilo Juliet 6 uniform Oscar, Uncle Oscar bought one from Japan. And I don't know if it was actually from Japan, but he bought it on eBay, and it was only putting out a handful of watts. So it was definitely not the 100-watt radio. So that is definitely a big consideration when you buy secondhand radios like that. You definitely want to put it on a watt meter just to see what the output power is, right? So.
Oh, absolutely.
Got James in chat saying he likes his Mark II-G.
Yeah. So, Jeff, if you're still watching, hopefully that helps you answer the question of whether or not you should get it. Quite honestly, it's a fantastic radio. As long as you test it and it's all working good, I'd say go for it. Why not?
And also, Jeff, if you don't have the gear to test it, I'm sure you could go to somebody at your local ham club that would with open arms help you get it sorted and put a meter on it.
He's still in the chat. He says thanks. Perfect. I'm glad we could help you with that. So let's hear, Bobby. You want to talk a little more about packing down your pack size? Because we peripheral skipped that.
Well, I do a lot of backpacking too. It's called trimming. I've learned it from backpacking. I mean, not just bringing your radio stuff, but you'll think all this stuff sounds good, and you got to keep it real. And you got to go out there and test it and see what you really do and which you don't need. But if you're going to go do a soda or a hard to reach POTA or whatever, redundancy, like Mr. Mudd said, is good, because it sucks to spend 4 hours or whatever hiking up a mountain and then find out your antenna doesn't work. So you got to think it through. But I don't know. There's only so much I could say carrying a Zygo G90 up there.
Hey, you had lots of luck with that Zygo G90. I'll say that much. I've seen your videos. You're doing good.
And to keep it in perspective, I do concrete construction, so I have tool bags like attached to me all the time. So a lot of weight I'm kind of used to it. So it depends on what you're doing. If you're a CW guy, yeah, I highly recommend going small and compact, and like Derek does, and keep it lightweight.
Absolutely.
The good thing about the G90 is the tuner, I think. That's it tunes anything.
Yeah.
That's I don't like the word tuner.
Mr. Mudd over there, he's not anti-tuner, but tuner is not a strong word in his vocabulary, is it, Mr. Mudd?
I dabbled in tuner once in a while, but I kind of stay away from it.
Yeah, I don't usually carry tuners. I've got Chameleon's in-fed wire, and it needs no tuner. And the Chameleon's little screwdriver, they're fairly new screwdriver antenna with the 58-inch whip. So between those two antennas, Reliance Bug Out Mini, that in-fed was on most bands already tuned. I think it was a 67.5 foot length in-fed Reliance antennas. That was a great antenna hanging out a hotel window, and it was tuned on 40, 20, all the bands I tried. So
yeah, that's what I had, the 40 meter in-fed. So technically I wouldn't need a tuner on a lot of the bands, but sometimes 17 or something else.
That's why I like those cork or screwdriver types, like the Wolf River coil and things like that. If you like vertical,
yeah, you can adjust it. I do have the ATOS 25.
I love the ATOS 25.
So it's the mini coil, and I've had a lot of great success. It's basically a coil, and it's got some gun cleaning rods that you
gotta look that up.
And it does work. It does work great.
Nice.
Hey,
So
Paul.
I got a question. I got a question for the group here.
One second, Wes. Mark says the G90 will tune the scaffolding behind Paul.
I use my rain gutter where I live. I live in a condo. It's a stucco building. It sucks. It's not great on phone, but I can work FT8. I've worked Japan on it, but it's not something that's
gutters rule. Yeah, I'm a gutter guy. Gutters are
I may have to try that tower thing sometime, because I did that gutter antenna from Alpha a couple of weeks ago. I made a video on my gutters. The one I'm working on now is my wrought iron fence in the backyard. I'm just gonna start taking that Alpha match and that 8-foot wire and connecting it to anything metal I find, and maybe I'll try the tower. As long as there's no electricity running through it, I'm going to see what it'll tune and what I can make a QSO with. Kind of like what Simon does.
Does anyone know what's in that Alpha gutter buster or whatever? Because I had one for a minute. Is it a 9-to-1 or is it a 5?
Well,
it's a 9-to-1.
I don't know what it is. Is it 9? Because I've got their FMJ. I don't have the one that's actually in the PVC that comes with the Alpha buster, but I have the FMJ one that goes. It's the FMJ Moto or something. It's probably the same thing inside, but I like this one because it's stainless steel.
So I did testing on my gutter, and I thought it was a 49-to-1 from Chameleon, the match, but it was a 5-to-1. The 5-to-1, that's what I use. 5-to-1 seems to do better for me on the gutter.
So Simon, what were you going to say?
I was just going to interject because Steve at Alpha, he often builds multi-tap Annans or coils. So I have a feeling he's got a few taps in that homebrew or that one. Yeah, like that. Where's exactly? Yep.
Like that. This is the gutter buster.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It'll do a slide, trucks that are halfway in the ground, and it might do a dog, but we haven't tried that officially.
Good grief.
I need your help on my gutter one of these days, Mr. Mudd. I don't know.
That is a lot of wire.
Oh, you guys, I got it on my tube how to build this thing, which it's not really rocket science how to build it, right? You just tap it every so many turns. Go out and build one of these, and what I suggest, put it on a piece of cardboard like this, and just start marking it up with your pen as you're doing it. Put numbers. Hey, this is working with this amount of wire off a gutter. Flip it around. It's really fun just to see what kind of match you need and what you need. And if you find something that works on that ratio, maybe build yourself or buy yourself that ratio coil just for the task, right?
Absolutely.
So,
all right, we got a good question from the chat here. James wants to know, have any of these guys started with CB radio?
Yep,
Oh,
of course.
man.
Absolutely. Proud of CB Radio. Woo-hoo.
Oh, I got some for you guys.
So, James, I think that tells you everybody got their start one way or another in CB radio.
Actually,
Okay.
when I was probably 8 or 10 years old. My dad was in construction, and he gave me a Crystal 1-channel CB radio with this big long telescopic antenna they used back then to communicate with the dump trucks. And then he ended up getting me the Channel 19 Crystal at Radio Shack.
Ooh, you had to learn some words.
That's where it all started. That was a long time ago, but that's where it all started.
That was a whole new world for you.
I learned some CB talk.
You know, you guys, it wasn't too long ago that you guys probably all remember Radio Shack if you haven't visited one before they all started shutting down. But it was something of absolute magic. Could you?
Oh, yes.
Thought of the shaving crystal. And able to fine tune. We used to shave our crystals, file them down back in the day. We would buy the universal, we'd shave it out and change the frequency. It was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. No, that's how
That's
long.
insane.
It's phenomenal. Yeah, you guys talking about these crystals. Yeah, it comes out of the earth. And of course, having effectively the sun participate with our hobby makes it the most wonderful thing. Like, you know, who said that? Forrest Gump. You know, it's kind of like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you're going to do.
I love it.
So, Wes, you have something to show us there?
Yes. Well, I'm going to be doing an unboxing video this summer. Everybody likes an unboxing video, right?
Always.
Yeah, and I'm going to unbox this thing. The aggressor.
Oh.
I have to say it in that voice. The aggressor.
So what? Oh, it's a CB. Okay. Oh, 5 watts and 17 transistors.
Yeah, and 23 channels. I couldn't afford the 40 channel one.
that is a nice. Yeah, those were definitely good ones.
Hey, Dr. Mudd, did you get that thing out of the Smithsonian or something?
Oh man, I'm finding all sorts of weird shit. You should see some of the stuff I got here. Yeah. I don't know if it works. But yeah, speaking of CBs, one of the plans, you know, guys, I'd like, if you guys could get your CBs out someday, I want to do a pre-POTA activation using CBs. No one's going to get credit for it. All you're going to get is bragging rights. But if we could get some sideband, maybe we'll hit I don't know. What do you guys want to do? You want to do channel 38 or something?
We gotta move off you. We're never gonna break through.
That would be fun.
We would, but someone might come in with something big. Definitely not channel 6 a.m. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, that's the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl would be out of it. But I think it'd be fun to do a pre-POTA activation. I'm gonna bring the CB with me and see who I could hit up once 11 meters opens up again.
Wes, you'd get 2 good stations, the Smokin' Ape and Bama Jim. Or is he going by Periwinkle 555? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of CBs, that's how I up here. If I want to find out if 10 meters is open, I'll go on the chicken band, and if I can hear the Super Bowl, and if I can get 38 rolling in here, I'm like, yeah, I'm heading out. I'm going to do some 10. That's my signal strength.
I was just going to say, right, and people will be like, oh, 10 meters is dead, but go on 11 meters and
right.
No, nothing's open on 10 and 12, but then you go on 11. No, you just need to tune in sometimes.
Yeah.
Guys, you know,
Can I jump in about CB for a sec here, Frank?
Yeah, go for it, Simon.
There's a comment there. CB, this is giving away my age, but I remember, I think it was probably the top of the last sun cycle or the one before, but the early 80s, I remember Skip, and that's what you call it on 27 megs, and my gosh, that was just unbelievable. And I'm living in VK3 land, which is the state of Victoria, which is down in the southeastern part of Australia. And one day Western Australia would be booming in, and then the next day the Skip would literally go 180 degrees, and I'd be getting New Zealand and Queensland. Unbelievable. And we had CBs in all of our vehicles, and my dad used to use them for listening to the tuning into the truck to find out where the cops were, which is totally illegal. But CBs, I've got a real soft spot for CB. And back in the day, so here's something interesting, guys. The marine radio, before, it went to 56 megahertz or 156 megahertz and being VHF, it used to be on the top of the 27 meg band in Australia. So 88 was 27.880. And you'd be out fishing and listening to 27 megs as the marine emergency frequency. And all of a sudden you'd be hearing Papua New Guinea. You'd be hearing South African stations. You'd be hearing Indonesia roaring in
Oh, wow.
on 88 the marine emergency channel for us for marine CV. Unreal. So I was hooked, of course, right?
So, Mitch, what were you going to say about CB?
Yeah, I was going to more or less talk to the solar cycles themselves. I've had the opportunity to experience from was it 17 or 18 all the way up to the current, and what I could tell you was the most fantastic for me was the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. The most impressive cycles I've seen. I guess 18, 19, and 20, or 19, 20, 21. But they were absolutely phenomenal, and this is why. Before I was a licensed TAM, down at 26 megacycles of megahertz, as we know them, 27 would be the first indicator that you would assuredly hear people from all over the planet. And if you know different language all over. So later on, when I got my hand license, I had value, and I kind of had an idea of how things worked, but my God, we had a whole spectrum that was allowed. We were just to learn Morse code and learn the rules, regulations, and the theories, and spreading goodwill. What am I talking about? I'm talking about all the goodness that happens. So solar from the sun, the solar cycle, I would say 80s and 90s were the most prolific. And this is why, because Japan in there, and it's continued. You would think they'd fade away when the sun went down. Well, let me just tell you, the solar cycle was so strong that they were in there like Japanese zeros, just ZLs. They were there during the day and night. And this is specifically 10 meters with a periodic open of 6 meters, the magic band. And I'm sure that you guys have experienced that. And if you haven't, you experienced the magic band, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's in the 6 meter, 50 megahertz. And it is a RFI nightmare. But if you got all your piping, your plumbing, and everything good, you shouldn't have an issue. But the solar cycles, and yes, that's where it all started, CB radio. As a matter of fact, I don't think that I'd know what I know and been taught by others, Elmers, and people like yourself, fellow hams. The sun is epic, and the solar cycles is where it at. We could have the best equipment in the world, but unless we got the participation in the sun and the arrays, the antennas in which we stick our receivers, yeah, God.
So,
Right?
So two things. One, I don't think you got them fired up, James. It is a good question, and boy, is it a fun topic. Absolutely. Now, Mitch, you mentioned something, and Simon over here is, I'm sure, chomping at the bit. You said the words magic band.
Oh,
Simon does not believe that the magic band exists. He knows it's there. Simon, you want to input?
Mate, put it this way. I'm going to draw an analogy. There was a trumpet player. His name was Bobby Hackett. And he sold a trumpet once and said, and the guy said, "Is the trumpet new?" He said, "Well, above top C, it's brand new. I.e., he never played that high." With ham radio, my radio is very old, but it's brand new on 50 megahertz. Hi. I didn't even know where it is on the band. And I went onto the Hermes Light yesterday, and it doesn't even have 50 megahertz. Go figure. So,
yeah, we got to talk to the Hermes guys about that, because it should. I'm going to have to ask Don SKT about that. Oh,
yes.
I didn't even
in.
mention his name, and he just popped into chat. Don,
G'day, Don.
you got to tell us. Yeah, Don just popped in. Why doesn't the Hermes Light have 6 meters? Because that is one of the most unique bands, and I would think that if anything, it would have it over 160. So Don, answer that in
Don,
the chat.
he's got the Annan. He's got the Annan, which
Yeah.
is the which I think is the granddaddy of that, or the Aussie-made SDR radio.
So
Well, it's frustrating for me every time Simon gets on, no matter what he's using. I can't ever QSO Simon. I can hear everybody else except Simon. I'm not sure why.
you got to use those gutter antennas and point them towards Victoria.
No, my gutters are east to west, and I've got, because he's up in Canada. He was on the tape measure. I got him on like some piano wire. Speaking of, Simon, you made me buy this piano wire with one of your videos, and I still haven't.
Oh,
used
great,
it.
buddy!
Yeah.
Awesome.
Simon, you sold whoever's this piano wire, or not piano wire. What is this?
Fishing wire?
Jewelry wire.
Jewelry wire.
Yeah, I actually got.
Oh, yeah.
One of his videos, and then I decided I shouldn't decorate the bush in front of my condo, maybe.
Oh, that will the bush antenna, Bobby.
Well,
there you go.
So there's HOA here, and I had a bunch of counterpoise wires out for a while, and I got this letter about my screen being damaged, and I looked at it, and there was this little teeny ding, you could never even see it. It's been there for 3 years. So I thought maybe that letter was pick up your weird wires. and I noticed the gutter wire was kicked off or was disconnected. So I put it all away and fixed the screen. So I'm kind of keeping it chill right now. And there's someone from Chameleon that lives here. There's a Chameleon car out of this house. That's how small the world is here.
Oh, wow.
I know a Chameleon, but apparently he's an engineer guy. He's not a ham. I'm trying to figure out what are people using for antennas here, but I think I'm the only one.
He's basically investigating. He's undercover.
No, I guess he works in their machine shop. He's not one of them.
Oh, he's not the cop, not the
Chameleon cop. It's on a magnetic loop, if that. But yeah, no, I was wondering if someone saw my video, but no, I doubt. Not many people watch my videos unless
not yet. We're that's going to change because Paul, would you redrop all the links if you have them open, please?
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. And I can't believe an hour has almost gone by already. So we're going to go around the horn. Anything coming up on channels, what's going on with you and Ham Radio, something like that. We'll go with Mitch first.
What's going on in Ham Radio?
For you.
For me? Well, I have, someone had mentioned a 706 MK2G, and I have two of them. I'm going to be going up to a swap. I think it's Lincoln. So I'm actually, where I'm at with my hobby right now is thinning down the herd. I have let's just say an array of equipment ranging from HF to all motors, antennas, switches, amplifiers, power supplies, and all good. But I'm going to be up at a swap meet up at Lincoln, California. Prepared for that. Thank God Frankie lets me hang out with him because.
By the way, I'm Frankie.
Oh,
no one knows. Mitch, you're the only one that knows me by that name. I'm Frank around here.
You know what?
You're Frankie now.
Frankie now.
Got it right now. Okay, I'm kidding.
Stop it.
Sorry, Frank. I'm just going to focus my attention on getting that all prepared. And like I said, the time that I have is spent helping with doing nets and checking in and just bringing much joy to this hobby. And other than that, I got no big plans, and I'm really looking forward to field day because I'm going to try and make it to 2 locations. I always swear that I'm gonna and, threaten that I'm going to, but I think I might be able to try it this year. But other than that, Frankie, that's all I got, buddy. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mitch. Bobby, what's going on with you? What's wrap it up for me with you?
Not gonna lie. So I do concrete construction in the winter, and the Tahoe area, a lot of snow and stuff. So we got winter off, but now it's summertime and we're full roll. So I'm kind of slowing down. That's why I'm excited tomorrow. I got some time off and I can actually go out. I'm hoping to do a POTA tomorrow in a camp. I've never done an overnight. Well, I did an overnight soda, but this guy from France off the Pacific Crest Trail came walking in my camp, and anyways, I didn't play radio all night. I hung out with him, but so I'm hoping maybe to do an overnight POTA. Is that a thing? I'm gonna
absolutely.
A lot of beer
to try that. I don't know. I have so many ideas and all these things I want to do. I think I got a little ADHD and I'm bouncing all over the place. Where I finally bought a dry erase board where I'm going to hang it in my living room, where I'm going to only put 3 or 4 things on it rather than make these big elaborate lists that I tend to do. And I'm going to try to focus more on stuff. But I do want to stick to what I said with my subscribers and do that giveaway thing and figure that out. That's I know it's YouTube, but yeah, I want to take care of that. Anyways, thanks for having us.
Well, thank you, Bobby. Ham Jazz, Simon, woohoo! What are you up to?
G'day, Frank. Well, not a lot actually. My buddy Chris, I want to shout out to all my mates in the all of our mates, all to everybody, but also in particular all the guys in the UK. I know Andy's there, Morecambe, Mark, Chris. You guys, as Ape calls you, the vampires. I mean, you guys, I don't know, it's the middle of the night there in the UK. So, guys, thank you so much. And I was chatting just before this live stream, actually, and he loved the canoe and blah, blah, blah. And he said, you always take so much gear. What about an activation going ultra light? So, actually thinking from a live stream on Saturday, doing the sort of the antithesis of what I normally do. And taking, I'm actually working a video with an old. Actually, I won't even tell you what it's about, but it's a being a musician, you have a lot of them lying around that are faulty. So I'm going to take that as a goal, perhaps, and maybe the 7,000, and take the dogs for a walk and start shouting it hopefully all over the world, and the bands are better. So, but just living the dream, love it, and everybody, and thanks Frank for having me on. It's been an absolute blast.
Thanks for coming on, Mr. Mud Wes. What about you?
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you something that I want to do, and I'm probably not going to do it. And if somebody steals my idea, I'm going to be like, right on, I'm going to watch you. So my plan this summer, something I want to do, which I won't do, is I want to get myself a unicycle and activate a park while riding a unicycle. So I got to learn how to. First, I got to get a unicycle, then I got to learn how to ride it, then I got to activate it. So that's if you guys see that, my bucket list is done. So. Let's hope we get a unicycle activation under the belt this summer.
Not knowing Simon next Saturday on his channel, right?
That's why secret. If I kind of help Simon with his bad decisions.
We all influence each other both for good and bad here.
You're the enabler, Wes. The enabler, absolutely. Should I do this?
Simon.
I recommend putting the unicycle on a stand and having it power your radio.
Oh yeah. I was,
I've ridden one before, and you fall on your head and your back, and they're very dangerous. That's all I gotta say. When I was young, I wouldn't attempt it now.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? So thanks, Frank, for having me on your show. You guys are great, and thank you.
Paul, K5VLP, Prep Ham, what's up with you?
Oh, thanks again, Frank, for the invite and to meet you guys. I think Simon's the only one I really knew. So now you guys got a couple more subscribers, hopefully tonight as well. And one of those is me. So I do a Sunday night. I call it the Sunday night rag show every Sunday night, Central Time, 9 o'clock. And I just, the first Sunday of every month is a preparedness topic, thus the prep in Prep Ham. And the other 3 Sundays are ham radio topics usually. Last Sunday, I combined both, talked earlier about getting all my gear together and having everything in a kit that's actually operational. So I'll probably do a series of that. But this week I'll finish the HOA Buster. I've clipped it to my wrought iron fence in the back and have been making some QSOs. So I'll put that video together. And yeah, there I am. Oh, and I've got a tower climb. Let me look real quick. Not this Saturday. I will be live streaming on the 25th, a tower climb. I think it's just a Roan tower. It's a older ham that can't climb. So I'm going to go up and help him get something fixed. But when I tower climb, I either try to live stream or make a video afterwards, and that's it. I do it for fun. I do it to give people experiences that I've gone through, maybe help other people not go through the same things I've had to struggle with, or share my knowledge. But I appreciate the invite, Frank.
Very
Where are you
cool.
at, Paul? I see the 5. Are you Texas? Where's everybody at?
Yeah, I'm in Texas. I'm just north of Dallas, about 23 miles, in a small town called Little Elm.
Okay.
So-
Reno, Nevada here. Mr. Mutt, you guys are both in Canada? VA. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
VA.
What? One's Central, one's West Canada, right, guys?
Yeah.
And then Mitch down there, he's an hour south of me, so that's why he's below me here. Hi. And coming up on my okay, Mitch. So coming up on my channel, I run videos every Tuesday night with the Tuesday night premiere leading up to Ham Radio Clubhouse. I have live streams every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific. That's 10 Central for the Northern California SwapNet. And I'll drop a random video or pop-up stream here and there. Pop-up streams are usually when that magic band, yes, the magic band, somehow gets open.
Simon's favorite.
Yes. If that opens big enough, I will have a pop-up live stream. Other than that, I think that's about it. Everyone, wave bye to the camera and say bye, everyone.
Bye.